Hey, what's up everybody? Tony with Lido Loca. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're going to focus on Carnival Cruise Line and some big stories popping this week for Carnival. We're going to talk about the reinspection of the Carnival Fantasy. We're going to talk about the deal that Carnival made with the Port of Mobile and a big announcement that was made just today about the Port of Galveston. Welcome back. Let's just get into the news. The first one up is the big story. We reported a few months ago that the Carnival Fantasy failed its CDC health inspection horribly with its lowest score ever of a 77. At the time, I said this will be the catalyst to make that ship come back and come back strong. And not that I'm a prophet, but I wasn't too far off. Carnival Fantasy re-inspected on October the 5th by the CDC with a score of, drumroll please, 99. That's right. When these problems come to the top, upper management, they jump right on it. They put the hard press on the cruise ship because they know they're going to get re-inspected. And just a few months later, re-inspected with a 99. Almost a perfect score. Way to go, Carnival Fantasy. Not surprising. Not surprising. Hopefully that keeps up. If you go back and you look at that video where we talk about the Carnival Fantasy scoring a 77, I walked through the process of seeing what your cruise ship scored on the CDC website. So some good information there. I'll leave a link above and in the description if you want to go back and track down how your next cruise will be. I need to do it for the Carnival Vista. We're going just next week. I'm not sure what they scored, but now I'm going to put that in the comments. I'm going to pin that comment what the Carnival Vista is. I would challenge you to look up your next cruise ship and put that in the comments. Now, the Carnival Fantasy is housed in the Port of Mobile, and there has been some negotiations between Carnival and the city of Mobile whether or not that cruise port would continue to exist. They operate on sometimes a multi-year contract, and the contract was coming up for the Port of Mobile. And the big news here is that Carnival has reached an agreement with the Port of Mobile to continue to have operations there, to continue to have the Fantasy there for the next 3 years. Now, the cruise port of Mobile was the first cruise port that I ever went out of on the Carnival Fantasy, and they bring in about 170,000 passengers a year through the Port of Mobile, primarily onto the Carnival Fantasy, doing 4 and 5 days down to Cozumel and the Bahamas. And so a vital port for Carnival right there in the Gulf of Mexico will continue for the next 3 years until 2022, and then the negotiations will happen again. But for everybody that lives kind of in that mid-Gulf area of the United States, Carnival still has a viable port in Mobile. That's excellent news. I know a lot of people like to cruise on the Fantasy. And a big announcement today from Carnival about the Port of Galveston. By the time we hit the end of 2021, Carnival will have 4 cruise ships going out of Galveston, calling Galveston its home port. They currently service close to 900,000 people in Galveston, and this will help them up the ante. Right now you have the Carnival Vista and the Carnival Dream doing sailings out of Galveston. You also have the Carnival Radiance, the newly renovated Carnival Radiance, and the Carnival Breeze making their way to Galveston by the end of 2021. This positions Carnival as the largest cruise line operator out of Galveston, giving people there in Texas more options to make cruises down to the Caribbean. This is going to be really nice. They do have some Panama Canal sailings, some short sailings, some long sailings. This is really going to diversify the offering for Carnival in Galveston and going to give cruisers in that area a lot more options. Big announcement from Carnival today, 4 cruise ships to be home ported in Galveston. Great news for Texas cruisers and cruisers that Galveston is the closest port. So interesting moves by Carnival. You can see that they are investing not only in the ports down in Florida, but they're also making sure that they have options for cruisers across the country. Good Carnival news. Again, big up on Carnival Fantasy for correcting its health mistakes. And it's good to see that commitment to when something happens, they come right back and they fix it. A lot going on there. If you found the information helpful, please hit the like button. Consider subscribing to Lido Loca for all of your cruising content. Again, my name's Tony, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.